Hello my friends, welcome to my latest video about my Husqvarna 701 Explorer. You will say Explorer. Yes, it's an Enduro of course, but I have modified it quite a bit, so that's why I call it an Explorer, because now it fits my kind of riding much better, which is mostly weekend trips with luggage and camping gear and maybe even longer vacations. Today is the 23rd of February 2024. It was the first day I could go out this year with the bike. There's still some snow, some spots in the woods on the road, so you need to be careful. So I was mostly staying on the pavement today, but I still had some fun and the weather was actually quite nice. I have already posted a video here on YouTube about the first modifications I did to that bike late last year, just after I got it. I will put the description to it, the link to that video down in the description. You will find it there. But then, just like 2-3 weeks ago, finally the last parts arrived, which is the rear luggage rack from Adventure Spec in Great Britain. We had that already available last year when I got the bike for the KTM 690 and the GasGas 700. Those two bikes are identical, but the 701 is different, so we are not interchangeable. They don't fit each other, so you need to order the right stuff. Probably the mounting points, I guess, are different, and maybe the shape of the rear tank of the 701. But as soon as I got an email, now the parts are in stock and are orderable. I placed an order and received them a few days later, so probably my bike is the very first one that has these installed. I wanted to film this video today not in my living room around here, but outdoors, but it was sunny in the morning, and then it was raining in the morning, and then came an interesting weather change. Within 2 hours it was sunny, so some front was moving through, but it was so windy I couldn't really film that outdoors. So I'll show the video and do a little voiceover for this walk around of the bike. Let's take a look. As you see, it's been a really nice sunny day today, but in the shadows there's still some ice sometimes on the road, so you need to be a little bit careful. So here she is, my 701 Explorer, how I call it, a very light, very nice adventure travel bike. And you see I have some accessories already on it, like the crash bars, which I also use to attach some additional fuel canisters, which I will maybe show you in a later video. And the front windscreen and GPS mounting platform also from Adventure Spec. But now new the rear luggage rack, which I'm here using for a short trip with the Krieger 10-liter bags. It doesn't fit perfectly because I mounted them a little bit too far in the rear, so that's why the top here doesn't look that nice. But if I mount them a little bit more forward, it fits better. I have attached the loops there on the rear of the top luggage rack, and the strap down here goes around like that. One tip, when you install these, be very careful with the length of these screws which go into the attachment points for the passenger foot pegs, because if they are too long, they will touch the swing arm. Here you see the rear luggage platform, which is rated by Adventure Spec for 6 kilograms, and they put some rubber dampers onto it, which were too short, because it sits on top of the side luggage rack, so I needed to add some washers, which you see here. But these two rubber dampers distribute the weight a little bit better and put it on the rear, on the tail of the bike, instead of creating a long lever that, if you have weight on the rear, a long lever that is only putting load on the threads which are molded into the tank actually. So be careful with those also. And also you see here on the right hand side the same problem here. If you use too long screws, there's very little clearance towards the swing arm. So be careful with that. Shorter screws, or screws with the right length, or some additional washers to adapt those. But I think this is a nice solution to add, for example, also the Moscow Moto R80 system, which I'm using for longer trips, or in this case the Krieger. I do also have some quite old, how we call it, Enduristan monsoon bags, but I haven't tried these. Here you see the 6 kilo rating that Adventure Spec gives for the top luggage rack, and that should be okay basically. You see I also bought recently a Moscow Moto Pico tank bag or top bag, which is attached with one strap that just goes under the rear seat.
There is a port for a charging cable, which is coming out at the wrong end of the bag, but I can route it under the bag to the front where I have the USB outlet. And then there's a strap going around the frame here, which you see. It's quite easy to attach and to remove. I put it very far to the front, close to the key, and it doesn't really touch me in any way. Inside you see it's about 1 liter of volume, so enough for power bank, for example, to be charged over daytime. And they gave it some nice details like the carbon here to attach your keys so that you don't lose them, and some rubber straps on the side and on the bottom, and even a compartment in the lid where I have a compass, for example. So there's some clearance on the front, and there's enough space on the rear so that it doesn't affect me anyway when I'm moving around on the bike. On the top I just mounted a Leverman tool here with a Swiss Army knife pocket here. Not perfect color, doesn't match at all unfortunately, but I'll probably find another solution for that, which is aesthetically a bit more pleasing also. Yep, so that's it, my 701 Explorer, which will hopefully take me this May down to Italy and Croatia, where I want to ride the adventure country tracks with a friend of mine. And hopefully then also it's a bit more spring than it's right now here in Sweden.
So that's what I wanted to show you about my 701 Explorer. I might make another video in spring when I have the Moto R80 luggage system attached to it for a longer trip. And then I can also show you my way to carry more fuel, which is using two 2-liter fuel friends in some pouches which a friend of mine produced for me. I am attaching those to the front crash bars in a very simple way. And that will give me 17 liters, which is probably good for around 400 kilometers riding, which is perfectly sufficient here in Europe, even here in northern Scandinavia. Australia might be a different story, but for us Europeans, the 400 kilometers reach should be perfectly fine. And by the way, I'm not getting sponsored by anybody, or I'm not getting any discount on the products I showed you here, not from Adventure Spec and not from anybody else. If I should ever get up to 2 million subscribers, which for sure will never happen, I might have the pleasure that manufacturers are chasing me to give me their products to test them, but that's never going to happen. I have no illusions about that. So that means I'm paying everything for full myself. Okay, have a nice riding season 2024 and see you in spring. Bye.